Today in this video we are going to be looking at how to write our fractions as decimals. Now we're first of all going to be looking at ones that are already out of 10, 100, 1000, just like they would be in the columns. Now when I'm talking about the columns, if you just look at this number here, 0.34, remember that the 0, anything to the left, this first one to the left is my ones column, and then I've got my decimal points in that line over there. Then the 3 is in my tenths column, and the 4 is in my hundredths column. So it's tenths and hundredths. Remember, we've said that before. And that would mean that this could be written as 3 tenths and 4 100ths. Okay, and going backwards again, if I had something like 7 tenths and 4 hundredths, it would mean that the 7 is in my tenths column and the 4 is in my hundredths column. Now we have done adding our fractions. What is my lowest common denominator out of 10 and 100? Hopefully I heard all of you yelling out in absolute glee that you totally knew that 100 is my lowest common multiple. So 100 is already out of 100, so what do I need to do to this one? I need to multiply it by 10 over 10, because 10 times 10 gives me 100. Remember, it's always the denominators we look at. So this would be 70 over 100 plus 4 over 100. So it would be 74 out of 100. And I could just write that if I can find my little scrolly thing to actually move this page, that would be wonderful. That would be 0.74, because I've got 7 in my tenths column and 4 in my hundredths column. So that should help you remember what you're doing in terms of finding the decimals once you're given it as a fraction, and a fraction once you're given it as a decimal. So obviously B would be 0.19. Okay. Finding the values of the 3 in the different places. We did that when we did our whole numbers, but obviously some of them might be in the tenths or hundredths. Remember, those are the smaller ones after the decimal. I'm going to just remind you of our place values. So we've got thousands, hundreds, tens, ones, and then we have a decimal point. And after ones we have tenths, and then we have hundredths, which I'm just going to write up here. Okay, so they all have ths on the end, thousands, so tenths, hundredths, thousandths, etc. Okay, so have a go at that, and you can check in your textbooks. It's around about 125 the page.